We are That Hippie Family. I'm Ashley.
I'm Chad.
And our son, our 6-month-old little boy, is sleeping inside, so we're outside. And we just want to introduce ourselves and let you guys know a little bit about us and our tiny house before we give you a tour of the inside. We originally made a tour of our tiny house almost 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Now, when we first moved in, but it wasn't even totally done. I'll link the video here. I highly recommend checking it out. We just watched it last night.
Yeah, it's pretty comical.
Not only because it's one of like our older videos, but what we thought about the tiny house when we first moved in versus what we think of it now is comical.
Yeah.
But when we moved in, it was just the two of us, and then 6 months ago when I delivered our son in the tiny house in our bathtub, which I'll also link here, things changed a lot. So we have been baby proofing and kind of rearranging the house to suit having a child in there with us.
Yeah. I guess since the last video that we put out there, we've done a few things. We've finished the Hammock Loft, which is like a big one for us. I mean, that's our hangout space, right?
It's a whole nother living space in there.
That was good. We finished off the cabinet fronts of all, like in the kitchen and underneath the stairs. That looks good. Yeah, it looks really good. Really good.
We had to keep all the little fingers out.
Yeah, with Floyd, he's getting into like everything, right? So we got to, nothing could be like exposed.
And we moved our house, so now we're living on Vancouver Island. We originally built the house in the Okanagan.
Yeah.
And now that we have a permanent park space, it's really home.
Before, yeah, we had really didn't do much to the outside because of where we were living at the time, right? And now with our new spot, we actually have a yard, built a fence, built a deck. We got like a covered spot. We got some patio furniture. It's what we always wanted, right? It's like it's actually happening now.
It's
we
we
live in like the perfect spot too.
Yeah.
It's beautiful here.
We're very fortunate with where we found to park our tiny house. If you have a tiny house and you're looking for parking options, I will also link that video here as well.
Yeah, gives a lot of information on where to park your tiny house and also like how we found our spot and all that kind of stuff, right? So it's definitely a good watch.
Floyd is just taking a nap, so when he wakes up, let's go inside and show you around. Come on in, guys. This is the entrance to our home. When you first walk in, we have where we keep our shoes and Floyd's coats, jackets, sweaters, Chad's backpack. And recently we added the wonderful high chair to the house, much needed, obviously. Right now we have our, what used to be mainly used as our dining area, folded down into what we call our couch or seating area. This was our kitchen table, or still is if we want it to be, but the centerpiece lifts up and then you can sit on both sides. So when we do feed him, we kind of pull the high chair around to the front and then sit and face him this way and feed him this way. When we are up here, or if we wanted to put Floyd down here and feel like he was safer, we got this bed railing which folds up and down. It's actually so practical and so handy. Another thing about this area that we've recently changed is we put this shelf here so that I have a desk spot, and that's where I have my laptop and I work on most of these videos for you guys. Right next to our living seating area, we have the ladder to the Hammock Loft. This is where we put him in his jolly jumper. It's perfect. It works so well. Normally it's over like a door frame, but right now we have it just hooked to the top of the Hammock Loft. He jumps right here. Much needed. Jolly jumper is life, especially when you live in a tiny house on wheels and your little one needs to go places. Moving along a little bit down this way, we've converted this area, which was pretty much like a useless space before, and it's Floyd's play area now, so all his toys are accessible for him. Let's move along to the kitchen. I just put Floyd down. He didn't want to be held anymore. My arm was getting tired too. So let's talk about the kitchen. One thing I will mention that we would like to probably change is what we chose to go with for our stove and oven. We thought it would be perfect, which it's not bad. It's a little small though, so I would like to replace that with something bigger eventually. But we have a pretty decent amount of counter space, and we have a double sink, which was really important for us. The sink was actually the first thing that we bought secondhand. We bought it for $10. So when it comes to our tiny house, we really tried to use as many secondhand materials as possible. So the design was more based around what we found rather than what we designed it to be, if that kind of makes sense. You kind of have to work with what you get. Like all of the windows, actually. The windows and the doors designed our house. We got all of the windows and doors first, and that's how we built the house. We have a pretty decent amount of storage. This we found all secondhand, and I stained and painted it. And then these cupboards up here is where we keep all of our dishes, and underneath is mostly storage for like the Instant Pot, cat food, dog food, the appliances, that kind of stuff. So let's just backpedal for a second here. I forgot to mention our heater. We have a propane heater, which we installed kind of as an afterthought. We knew we wanted to have a propane heater, but we didn't totally design where we were gonna put it. It should be a little bit lower to the ground because the heat rises, obviously. It's not bad where it is. There's a lot of elements that we're dealing with sometimes when it comes to heating the house and just living in a tiny space. It does get warm in here, but we don't have a dehumidifier built into the house, so that was something that we did have to get as an afterthought. We didn't really think of that. It does get humid inside the house, and apparently a gas or propane heater contributes to humidity inside. Electric heaters tend to dry out the space more, which is something interesting that we didn't know until now. So we finally, well, now it's been a long time, but if you went back and watched our previous tour of the tiny house, you will have seen that we did not have the hammock loft installed, and which we do now. It gives us a whole entire another living space. We put a TV up there, and that's where we keep all of our books and movies, so we call it our living room or our chill space. We did always know that we wanted to have kids and live tiny, so we figured at some point we would use this second loft as a bedroom. Maybe Chad and I will use it as our bedroom and then give our main bedroom to the kids. We'll see how that all ends up going. Mister. You don't want to hang out down there? Do you want to be in the video too? Tell everybody that you love living in a tiny house on wheels. It's a pretty cool place to live. Let's talk about these stairs because these are such a feature in the house. We finished all of our drawer fronts and I added these funky, groovy stickers to make it a little bit more retro. If you're into seeing more of our tiny house on Instagram, check out our hashtag #OurTinyRetroHouse. They're deep, big drawers, so you have space for, you don't want to see what's in there. All of our stuff. This one right here is my favorite. It is our pantry. Can I do it with one hand? I can. So we try to be zero waste, obviously, as much as possible. So this is our pantry where all of our jar food, our container food is. I need to organize it and go through that another time. Coming back farther into the house, this is what we called our front door at one point. It has a kitty door in the bottom, but the cat lost the privilege of that because he was bringing things inside that he's not allowed to, so no more kitty door. Instead, it actually worked out perfect. We closed off the kitty door, and this is Floyd's change station, which fit perfectly in this space. This is where Chad and I keep all of our jackets, coats, sweaters, and shoes are at the bottom. So on this side we have our fridge. It is a normal sized fridge, which we knew having a family that we absolutely needed to have a normal fridge for as much storage as possible, and that's something I don't regret at all. If anything, I'd still go bigger. Everything's more challenging when you have a baby on your hip. Let's talk about this door though. Last time you seen it, it wasn't painted. This time, she's done.
Peekaboo.
On the back side of the door, we also put our only length-size mirror in this house. I very rarely use it, but it's good to at least have one. Should we show them the bathroom, Floyd? Welcome to our tiny bathroom. We have the luxury of having a full-size tub in here, which I took advantage of when I gave birth to Floyd. Definitely check out that video, it's a popular one. We also use a washer-dryer combo machine. We chose this machine, which I might recommend mainly because it has a dual function. It's venting and condensing, so you can choose what works better for you. We used it for condensing in the winter time. That's when we bought it last year, and then when the weather got nicer, we cut a hole in the house and vented it because it just works better when it's a venting machine. Washer dryer combos, the condensing function is hit or miss. It really depends. If you want to see that video, I will link it here. So I want to talk about our potties because I'm always into talking about the bathroom. I love a good bathroom tour, ours especially. We do, here, let me just get Floyd's out of the way here first. We do use a composting toilet. I have made a few videos about our composting toilet, so if you want to know more about that, I will link that here. I will put links in the description below of all the videos I've mentioned in today's video. We love our composting toilet. It works great. We wouldn't change it for anything. We would maybe update it because this particular composting toilet might not be like perfect for us, but the composting lifestyle is perfect for us. And then Floyd has his own potty. We are doing Elimination Communication, so we're potty training him. Well, we just started at 6 months, so we're just starting now. It's not something that just happens overnight. We just work on him learning what the potty is and slowly getting used to it so that he eventually goes potty on his own potty, because I'm not quite sure how to navigate the teaching him how to potty train on a composting toilet. I think he'll just use this potty as his own potty. We each have our own closets. Chad's is on that side, mine is on that side. We have hooks for our towels, which is pretty handy. Obviously, it's a little bit crowded in the bathroom. Do you want to go upstairs and see where we all sleep? Chad just installed the baby gate. You push the button at the top and you pull it so it's retracting. So we have a baby gate down here, and then it will be at the top of the stairs as well, so he won't be able to go up or down the stairs. So all three of us sleep up here and intend to keep it this way for quite some time. We decided to get Floyd a big boy bed. It's actually in the converted toddler bed function right now, and he'll sleep like that unless we have another baby, which we hope to. Then we might turn this sleeping loft into the kids' room, and Chad and I would just sleep in the hammock loft. He's tickling my toes. especially living tiny with kids, everything is adaptable, forever changing, and we kind of just go with the flow. We don't know how things are going to be tomorrow. The nice thing about building the house ourselves is that we know how it all works and what works for us, so we just change it when we need to. And this works great for now. One thing that we recently changed up here was we made it more of a Floyd space than an Ashley and Chad space. We put this trunk up here for all his toys, so it's his little toy trunk. It's also a great spot for him to be able to like sit and read his books and hang out. And then we got this cupboard to use as his closet, and all of his clothes fit perfectly in there. We put a skylight in the tiny house to help with breeze, so that if we open up a window downstairs and then we open up our skylight, it helps a cross breeze in the house. We haven't put a screen in it yet, so we don't always use it, and then it's made the house so hot in the summertime. So I have this little tapestry as a makeshift curtain for now, but I'll make a real curtain to keep it more cool in the summertime up here, but for now this works. I'm gonna take you guys up to the Hammock Loft. And Floyd too. So this is our Hammock Loft. We bring Floyd up here too sometimes. Most of the time, we haven't spent a lot of time up here since he's been born because there just isn't time for chilling anymore. But it's super cozy, very relaxing. We have our TV up here and all of our DVDs. We don't have like Netflix or cable or TV like that. Where we live, we don't have very good internet connection either, so we actually can't stream shows. It just doesn't work, unfortunately. But we have a lot of DVDs and we like watching movies. This is where we hang out, baby Floyd.
Another thing that I want to add is all of our like main appliances, I guess, like our water heat, our actual heater, and our cooking are all propane. It's perfect for us, especially the water heater. It's on demand, so it takes a second for it to get there, but you have it for as long as you want, as long as you have propane, I guess. And throw Floyd's little flame mat here so you can burn off some energy.
Look a little bit different now that Floyd is here in the tiny house, but it doesn't feel any tinier. It feels like this is still the perfect lifestyle for us. What do you think, Floydie? Well guys, if you're new here and you liked what you've seen or you want to know more about how we live our day-to-day life in the tiny house, subscribe to our channel.
Yeah, you won't regret it.
We put out lots of content about living tiny, and we also do a video every Monday we call Monday Fun Day, where we adventure somewhere new.
That's pretty fun.
I hope you enjoyed this video. If you have any questions about our tiny house on wheels, do not hesitate to ask.
Yeah, leave it in the comment section below.
As always, I hope that you have a great rest of your day.
We'll have a great rest of our day.
And we will see you in the next video.
Peace out.